I thought of sharing with you the explanation or the insight of allergy in Ayurveda, because it is very different, how we see in Ayurveda, how we see things, especially this topic, allergy. So I thought it would be good also for you to know and understand how Ayurveda see the topic allergy. And also, I have to say, in my practice, uh, most or many of the people who are consulting or who want to improve their health, there will be some kind of allergic situations or allergic conditions involved in their imbalance or in their daily life and things like that. So this topic, I thought, is very necessary. And also we know what all is happening all over the world. It's also a kind of, even though it is a viral infection or the reason is virus, but still the expressions are very much kind of allergic reactions. And many time people get the similar symptoms of hay fever or pollen allergy or seasonal allergies. So this topic is relevant in that way also. Anyway, we will explore now what Ayurveda has to say about the allergy. So the introduction to it, as I told you, most of the people out of 10 people coming to the clinic, 4 to 5 people or even 5 to 6 people are having any kind of allergic conditions or allergic situations. So this is one of an imbalance which is affecting almost all the people in one way or the other way. So why we are having allergies, or what makes the body to react or respond in such a way, that is very important to know. In my understanding, most of the time, or most of the minor allergies or kind of allergies which are not making so much of trouble to the system, people take it easy. They don't consider it so much. They just continue their life with the symptoms, or they take some symptomatic reliefs, but they never really go deep into that, why your body is reacting in such a way, or why your body is responding in such a way that it creates a intense response or reactions. This is very important to know, because it shows our functional balance also. Allergy is not only a response, but also it from the reaction we can understand how much functionally balanced we are. So it's very common to say that, oh, it's an allergy, and I don't much take care about it. So many people you might have seen, they sneeze, or they have some kind of itching, or they get watery eyes, or skin problems, or other kind of symptoms. When you ask them, oh, what happened to you? Why you are sneezing, or why you are having reactions? Oh, it's an allergy. It's not so much. It's an allergy. It's not very serious. But actually, that is wrong. Allergy always happens in a morbid conditions, when there is lot of toxins in the body. It is kind of a clear proof that there is some kind of indigestion, or there is some kind of functional imbalance in the body, which expressed which is being expressed in the form of a reaction. So it is very important that we consider if there is an allergic reaction happening to us. And as I told, many people take it as granted, though they take if they get an allergy, they take an antihistamine or such kind of pill, which simply removes the symptoms. Underlying conditions no one is much bothered about, because the symptomatic relief is most of the time which is being done or used to get rid of that. So that is not good. We know, when we symptomatically removing or symptomatically controlling that situation, it makes the body again weak. It makes the body confused and reduce the strength of the body to process or digesting. So if you get a mild form of allergy from anything, taking a pill or taking a tablet or taking any solutions which just suppress that symptom is only hiding the disease or hiding the situation from you. Rather, we should try to remove that toxin or remove that weakness of our body, so that it can digest whatever is being received or exposed. So that is again a relevant factor which we should know. Then the complication of suppressing allergies, which many people have. I have noticed, like they may have some sneezing, like in the morning they will sneeze few times, or they will have some kind of reactions. Then they might take some tablets which are suppressing in the form of cetirizine or any other kind of tablets which are mostly antihistamines. And you are sneezing, you take this tablet because you don't want to sneeze in front of people, you don't want to get embarrassed in front of the people, or you are going for a meeting, or you are in an important discussion, so you don't want to create a feeling that you are sick. So you just take that tablet or whatever solutions. It suppress the response of the body into something which is not digested in your system. So the body is trying to throw out what is not being digested in the system, and that expression we can call as allergy. And with this tablet or with this pill, we are suppressing the capacity or the potential of the body to respond. So it's kind of suppressing and hiding, which in the long run creates two problems. One is accumulation of these toxins or allergens. Second is weakness of our metabolism or weakness of our immunity. So these two direct complications which happen from suppressing the allergies. So in order to not to have these two situations, it is important we learn what is allergy, and we try to see and try to treat it in a different way. The constant allergy means constant challenge to the immunity. Constant allergy means constant challenge to the immunity. The more you are having allergic reactions, the more you are having sneezing, the more you are having conditions which express your reactions, and that means the more you are challenged by with your immunity. So the more you keep it, the more it get worse. So you have it for 10 days, you have it for 1 year, you have it for 5 years. The more you keep it, the more it affects immunity, the more it affects the regeneration capacity of the body, the more it affects the functional balance of the body, the more it affects the organs in the body. So this all will create imbalances, and this all will create weakness in different kinds of systems. So we should not, if we have allergy, we should not keep it more than a time, or in the beginning itself we should try to find out possible solutions for this allergy. So what is allergy? This is more of a modern explanation, which I thought I will give you a basics about it, even though all of you know what is allergy. It is very simple, that something which the body is getting exposed internally or externally, where the body is not able to properly process it, or the body is not able to kind of digest it, which creates a reaction. Then that expressions we call allergy. It is a form of hypersensitivity or hypersensitive immune response. That's how we can call allergy. So it's not, when we say hypersensitive immune response of the body to the foreign proteins, or to the foreign body, it it's not always suiting, because it's not applicable to all the foreign proteins, or it's not applicable to all the foreign things. It's only applicable to some of the foreign bodies. That some of the foreign bodies, when it is getting contact with the body, the immune system is hypersensitive. The immune system is reacting so much that it creates some kind of symptoms. So this situation can be hereditary, or this situation can be with the genetic involvement. So in whatever way, it is a reaction or hypersensitivity of the immune system. And low immunity is the responsible factor for almost all allergies. Low immunity is the responsible factor for all kind of allergies. So, and most of the time, the allergies are happening when the protein content of something which we are not able to digest. Most of the time, heavy protein or high protein is the reason or the culprit for having allergies. So when the pathology or the physiology of it is that when you get affected to an allergen, that allergen goes into the body. That allergen we can call antigen, and that enters into the body, and the body kind of think, oh, this is not something which is friendly for my system, this is coming to attack my system. Then the antibodies are being released, and then the histamine, the chemical histamine is being released, that goes to the antigen and try to kill it, so try to kind of metabolize it, or try to kind of process it. And when many times when this histamine, or many times when this antibodies are being released to kill the or to remove the antigen, it get confused sometime with what is foreign body, or what is our normal tissues or normal body. So this confusion also can create lot of reactions and lot of different conditions. This is the very basic explanation of allergy in the modern way. And almost all the time it comes from the as per the modern science, almost all the time it comes from the reaction between the antigen and the antibody. There is not so much, or not other type of explanations are there. When antigen and antibody reactions happens, this kind of allergic responses are formed. But in Ayurvedic way, when we consider, or when we see things, I would say most of the situations which are unidentified, most of the situations which are unidentified, or most of the situations which are unexplained, most of the situations which are unexplained, most of the situations which are unidentified, we can bring it into allergies. Also, when an allergy happens, nobody thinks about, or nobody wants to know about what is the reason of it. We all stay most of the time with the symptoms. Also, how it manifests in the body, that is also not being really studied, or that is also not being really understood. And another thing with allergy is that there is no natural solutions for it. If you learn it as allergy in the modern way, if you learn it the chemistry of allergy in the modern way, there is no natural solutions. It always end up in antihistamines, or epinephrines, or things like that, which are suppressing or creating a different atmosphere in the system. It's always artificial solution. So whatever which is unidentified, whatever which is unexplained, or whatever which is having no natural solutions, we can call in the modern term as allergies. So it's not only like we think smaller forms of expressions like sneezing, or skin reactions, or things like that. There are many health conditions which is seen in this way. There is no reason, or people don't know what is the reason for it, or how it is being manifested in the body. That is also not very clear. And when we don't know what is the reason, and when we don't know what is the clinical manifestation of a problem, then it is difficult also to find out a natural solution. So whatever we can whatever we are seeing without a proper reasoning, proper manifestation, and without a proper solution, we can call it also as allergies. In Ayurveda, when we go through this, most important thing is that what is the reason of this disease, or how it manifests, what is the cycle of manifestation. Considering this, the solution will come. So it is very important that we know what is the reason, what is the real reason for the problem, or for the reactions. So coming to allergy in Ayurveda, it is very difficult to compare a situation of allergy. We cannot copy paste this into Ayurveda. You see antigen, you see antibody. We cannot just simply copy and paste it into Ayurveda. Ayurveda doesn't have a concept of allergy. Uh, for Ayurveda, when somebody is telling something is allergy, that means it is unidentified, it is not properly studied, or it is not properly understood. So a person who is coming to us and explaining that he is having an allergy, or she is having an allergy, we never take it in that prime basis. We don't take it simply like that. Oh, you are having allergy, so what is the allergen, or what is the medicine which I can give you for the allergy? Even though we may communicate many times with the word allergy, but the solutions, or the identifying the problem, is not by having a concept of allergy. It is purely going to know, or trying to search what is the reason. Because if you put allergy as a disease, it is impossible to treat. Because in Ayurveda, treatment is not suppressing, treatment is not hiding, it's always going to the root and to the a natural solution. So it is important for us to find out what is the reason. And many times what is being involved when there is an allergic situation. So for us, it is mostly pitta and the blood. When you explain about a allergic situation, it is most of the time pitta and the blood. These are the two factors which is involved in allergic reactions. That whatever allergy you have, it is mostly expressed through imbalance of pitta, and imbalance of pitta in connection with the blood. This is the factors which is mostly being involved and expressed in allergic reactions when it comes to Ayurveda. And there are few things which allergy is correlated in Ayurveda, which is ama, which is the indigestion or toxins. Then asatmya. Asatmya is the suitability, unsuitability or suitability. Then comes viruddhahara. These 3 points we will I will explain in detail in the next slides. So what it is basically that if something which is entering into our system, and that is not being properly processed by the body mechanism, whatever metabolic fire or digestive fire, which is not being properly processed or digested, this leaves as indigestion. This leaves as indigestion, and that indigestion will get mixed up with the blood, or it can mix up with the pitta, or it can mix up with the kapha and produce different symptoms. So it is basically an indigestion which the body is not able to process or digest what it is, or how the digestion process goes on. It becomes very weak, and then indigestion occurs in the body, and that indigested particle can get mixed up with pitta, kapha, or with the blood, and show different symptoms. So this is what allergy in Ayurveda. More detail I will explain you now. As I told you, when it comes to the treatment, we always have important to identifying the reason. Because we don't believe in a concept that you smell something, or you get into dust, you get dust, and that because of that dust alone you are having allergy, or you are having reactions. Because not all the people are getting affected with it. If dust is the only reason to make you sneeze or make you allergic, then everyone should have the same reactions or the response, which is not there. Only for a group of people it is happening. So there is something more, not only to the foreign body, not only to the antigen. It is also related to some other kind of weakness in our system, which is not able to process what we are getting exposed into. So identifying that reason is very, very important, and then remove that reason and its effect from the body. So this is very important, because as I told you, there is no chance of suppression, or there is no concept of killing an organism. This is very unique in Ayurveda. When people say you kill the virus, or you kill the bacteria, or you kill the other kind of things, in Ayurveda we never say like that. We we never say to kill something, because that is not the concept. That is not at all the concept. You, if you have a kind of virus in your body, in our concept is that you make your body in such a situation that the virus will automatically leave from the body. Virus won't be able to survive in your system. Or even if it is a bacteria, the bacteria, we should create a situation, we should keep our house clean and serene, so that there is no chance for the bacteria to live and proceed its functions there. So removing that reason from the body, and also removing the effect of that impact or effect of that allergy in the system. This is how Ayurveda treat, or Ayurveda see the prognosis, or the diagnosis, or the treatment solution. It's very much depending upon these two reasons. And coming to the next, you can see here that Ayurveda see not only one sense, or not only two sense in the which is connected with the allergy. All the five senses, which is like eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, everything can connect into something which can create indigestion, or can make a person into allergic response. So again, I am using this word allergic or allergy is only to communicate with you, because there is no such concept in Ayurveda. It's only a kind of indigestion. So, or it is only a kind of unfriendliness, or unsuitability, or unsuitable situations to the body. So all these five senses can receive, or whenever these five senses are getting in touch with, or getting in exposure with a kind of particle which the body cannot accept, or which is not body friendly, or which the body cannot process, then creates a kind of situation which we call as an allergy. So it's not only just coming from food, or wind, or smell, or things like that. From all the five senses, allergy can happen according to Ayurveda. So the next slides, which are the reasons of allergy. This is a topic which we need to discuss in detail. You can see allergy. One is the reasons of allergy. One is unsuitability. So what is unsuitability? I will explain. Then second one is contraindicated food. So when the food is not proper, or when the food is not suitable to us, or when we eat food which are contraindicated, that can be one reason for allergy. Then low acne means low fire for the body to process or digest. This will leave traces of toxins, or traces of foreign particle which is not suitable to our system, also can be the reason for allergies. Then the fourth one, you can see extreme qualities of exposure. So that concept is like this, our body is made up of different kinds of qualities, like hot, cold, dryness, roughness. Such kind of different kind of qualities are in our body. Our body constitute of this different kind of 20 different kind of qualities, starting from hot, cold, things, dry, oiliness, smoothness, roughness, stability, instability, all different kinds of things. And there is a certain ratio in our body, that, or a certain limit in our body. This much heat I can have, or this much cold I can have, or this much dryness I can have, or this much smoothness I can have. So when we get into exposure of something which is imparting the quality of heat more than your body can take, or which imparts the quality of cold more than the body can accept, or more than the body can take, it immediately creates reactions, which also we can consider as allergy, which also we can consider as one of the reason of allergies. So unsuitability, contraindicated food, low fire, and extreme qualities of exposure. So these extreme qualities of exposure is very, very unique in Ayurveda, which is not so much, or you can't see this explanation much in other sciences. This is like this, as I told you, we have a group of qualities in a certain amount, and when it is in balance, it's fine. But when we get exposed into something which is imparting more than the quality which the body can take or body can stand, immediately some kind of reactions can occur. Then asatmia, which is unsuitability, which is one of the main reason for allergy. So asatmia means basically which is not suitable for us. The word, Sanskrit word asatmia, which it means which is unsuitable for us, which is not friendly for us. So whatever is not friendly for us, whatever is not easily accepted by the body, whatever is not easily absorbed by the body or mind even, we can call it as asatmia or unsuitables. So when we eat something or a kind of food which is unsuitable for our body, or a kind of activity which is unsuitable for our system, can also create reactions. And that reactions we are neglecting, and we are continuously taking the same kind of food, or the same kind, or doing the same kind of activity which are not at all body friendly. This creates chronic allergies or chronic reactions. So it is important that we know what is my favorable qualities, or what are the suitable things in my life when it comes to anything, when it comes to eating or sleeping or acting or whatever. What are the kind of things which are suitable for me, and what is the kind of dose which is suitable for me, and what is the kind of time which is suitable for me. When we don't consider these factors, we do whatever we want in whichever way or how much ever amount, which creates body in a situation where it is not friendly with what you are being used. It creates reactions, and that can be allergy. That's why some people get allergies with milk, or allergy with wheat, or allergy with different kinds of things, because their body is not friendly with that, or for their body it is not suitable what you are being used. So this concept is very important. This concept is not there in other sciences. So for example, I again tell you, a person who is traveling into different continents, or a person who is getting into different kind of life situations. So some people take it some people take it in a very easy manner, which they don't see any, or you can't see any difficulties in them when they change the situation, or when they eat all kinds of food. They don't mind milk, they don't mind wheat, they don't mind other kinds of thing. They eat everything what is being kind of possible to eat, or what is being they have. So this is suitability. Some people are suitable to many things, and some people are suitable only for few things. So this concept is very important, and this is one reason for having allergies. Then this suitability is also of four types. I thought to explain to you. The first one is called Ritusatmia, which is more seasonal suitability. So seasonal suitability, as we know, different seasons have different qualities. So when different seasons pass by, what all are the food kinds, or what all are the activities which I am doing, or what is the quality of that season, which either gives me balance or which challenges my immunity. This is important. So we need to know if season is Vata, or dominant of Vata, and if I am dominant of Vata, how I should balance that, how I should interact with the season, which keeps a kind of situation where the immunity is strong, and we don't have much unfriendliness with that season. If there is unfriendliness, again it creates reactions. Then Aukasatmia, the second one, which is more related to whatever we are used to. For example, some people, as I told you, milk is not creating any allergies, wheat is not creating any allergies. So in Aukasatmia, there are two things. One is positively suitable, one is negatively suitable. So people who are drinking honey or ghee, let's say, who people who are eating ghee is suitable, and it is positively suitable, because it is suitable for the body, and it is helping the body to grow, memory to enhance, to have better intelligence, and it stops degeneration. It is rejuvenative. But a person who is smoking or drinking, which is also, he is not developing any immediate reactions, because body kind of got into the suitability of that. It is not creating any immediate reactions, but it is not positively suitable, it is negatively suitable, because it creates problems sooner or later. Then the third one is Deshasatmya. Deshasatmya means the suitability of the land which you are living in, or suitability of the products or the food products from the land which you are consuming. So if you have a garden, the fruits which are formed there, or the vegetables which are formed there, it should be more suitable to you than the land which is far away, or the vegetable which is grown far away. So there is a suitability which is in connection with the land, and also the products or the food products which are formed in that land. Then comes the fourth one, Roga Satmya. Roga Satmya is the situation in a disease. When you have a disease, what all things are suitable for you? If you have allergy to milk, if you are intolerant to milk, and when you take milk you get mucus buildup and things like that, then milk is not suitable for you. Or anything which you are feeling that in a diseased condition, this is not going to help, those things are not suitable. But at the same time, if you have a indigestion, you are having low fire, then you take ginger water, boiled ginger water, or you take pepper, or you take cumin. This is suitable for you. So there are suitability according to the season, suitability according to our habit, suitability according to our land and the food products which are formed there, and also suitability according to our disease. So these four things we should know. Then comes so again, the suitability and unsuitability is both in food and medicine also. It's not only in food, but also in food, medicine, and activities. So whatever is suitable, whatever is not suitable in our medicine, in our food, and in our activity, we should know to keep a friendliness to things which we are exposed, and that will help us to get rid of the situations of indigestions and allergies. Then comes Viruddha. Viruddha is also Viruddha is also having an important role in creating a situation called allergy or indigestion. In Ayurveda, we have a concept called Viruddhahara. So Viruddhahara means, Viruddha means contraindication, and Ahara means food. So a kind of food which is not good for you, or which is creating negative impacts of you, this is called Viruddhahara. And when you use, or when you consume this food products which are not suitable for you, and you consume it in a longer run, like for example, you are not only taking it for one day, but you are including it in your diet for a longer period of time, this can create a kind of indigestion, and this can create a kind of reactions also, which can develop, which will develop into different kind of symptoms, and that symptoms also will show in the form of allergies. So considering what kind of food is good for me and what kind of food combinations are good for me is also very important, because when we combine foods, we don't use much logic. I always tell, when I take classes or cooking sessions and all, it is not good that we mix all these things together, that in the cookery shows and things like that, you might have seen, um, you bring that from Australia, you bring that from Brazil, and this from Europe, you mix it all this thing together and looks very colorful and yummy and very tasty. But this kind of combinations are many times hazardous, because the qualities of what we are combining, we should really know. And that is the reason why simple food has many times more effect than this kind of complicated combinations. Because sometimes what happens is that when we mix two things, one will be very dominant, which will suppress the quality of other. One will be very dominant and it will suppress the quality of other, and we don't get the desired benefit. And sometimes what happens is that there are two things which you are not supposed to combine together, because when it is combined together, it will create a different kind of reaction, or it will create a different kind of unfriendliness to the body when it will not be able to digest. So one example which I can tell you is, which all of you might know, the honey and the ghee factor. So honey is very good. Honey is really helpful for improving immunity and improving many body functions. Ghee is also really, really good, considered to be very sattvic, and it helps to improve the role of regeneration and things like that. But you mix these two things in together in the same quantity, this forms into a union which is difficult for the body to digest. So there are many things like that, not only honey and ghee, honey and hot water, then yogurt and hot food, heating yogurt, making mixing milk with fruits, using salt with milk products. So or many other kinds of things, mixing hot water and cold water. So this creates a kind of formation which the body is having difficulty, or the body will get confused to how to digest it, and then it creates a kind of indigestion which also can create allergies or this kind of situation. So viruddhahara, the contraindicated food factor, is very much considered, and we should really practice that in our life, because many times, we try to live healthy. We take the best food, we take the organic food, we follow almost all the rules, but unfortunately sometimes we miss this point of mixing this with that is not good, and that can create a kind of indigestion which creates allergy. For example, if you take milk with salt, definitely you may get dandruffs or skin allergies or eczema or things like that. Or you take milk with non-vegetarian food, or seafood, then also it can create different kinds of allergic rhinitis, or itching in the eyes, or conjunctivitis, or things like that. So, and we don't know why it happened, but it is that we need to follow this viruddhahara concept. And viruddha or contraindication is not only coming, or not only mentioned, or not only applicable to the food factor. There are many other form of contraindications also we are doing, which can create different kinds of imbalances. Here you can see the list of contraindications. Samyoga viroda. Samyoga viroda is the first form of contraindication, which means things which are not going together we are combining, that I explained, let's say hot water and honey. Then karma viroda, which is also two different kinds of actions which are not good. For example, you are actively doing your exercise, you are physically very active, or you were into the gym, into the bodybuilding, you did really hard workout, and then immediately you are going into the pool. So one side you are activating your system, and one side you are kind of suppressing your system. So this kind of contraindications also are there, which can create allergies and things. Then mana viroda, which means the dosage. So as, like honey and ghee, for example, the same dosage, equal dose is not supposed to be taken or combined together. Then the taste, contraindicated taste are there, contraindicated potencies are there, contraindicated post digestive effects are there, contraindicated land features are there, then contraindicated seasons are there, contraindicated dosages are there. So different kind of contraindications are there. I only mentioned a few of them to give you an idea how much all we need to take care of things. Doing whatever we want, whatever we feel like, is not always logical. Knowledge of all these things are very important, and learning or understanding these points is very, very important to have a healthy routine and healthy food. Because as that's what I'm telling you, most of the time we think that we are living healthy, we are eating healthy, and we are considering most of the things, but that is not the fact. We need to understand more, we need to learn more to apply those things in our life and improve our kitchen or improve our food in a better form, our lifestyle in a better form. Another example, very simple example, I tell you, taking shower after breakfast. This is against the order of life, or taking a shower immediately after food. It is against the order of life, because you may have done your exercise well, you slept well, you did your things well, you have a peace of mind, but then you eat your food, you followed organic, you followed the proper way of eating everything, half stomach, drinking warm water, cooked food, everything. But then just after your meal you go and take shower. This also create indigestion, and this also create imbalances. So all these things one should know basically, and apply it in our life. This is very important. Then comes acne, which is a very important factor when it comes to our life, not only to allergies. When it comes to our life, acne factor is very important. How much strong our fire is, that much strong our functions are, because fire gives the strength to process, to transform. So if we have strong fire, we are able to transform and process things which are even hard to digest. But if our fire is not very strong, we have difficulty to process and transform things which are even light to digest. So keeping the fire is very important. By doing this life routine, by doing this diet style, by doing this seasonal routine, what we are attaining is the balance and the strength of the fire. And by the strength of the fire, we can keep the balance of the three doshas of vata, pitta, and kapha. Anyway, visualize the body, and visualize that our body is made of trillions of cells, and in each and every cell there is a kitchen. Just visualize that, and in each and every kitchen there is an oven and a fire. So whatever we consume, this is not only being digested in our stomach, as we know, it is being circulated, transported into different body cells, body tissues, and in each cell there is again a form of fire which is helping to process what we consumed and digested, again to make it into a body friendly situation, or make it into our body tissue or body cell. So that fire should be very strong, or that fire should be strong enough to process and convert a foreign particle into a body particle. This is very important. And when that strength we have, or when that balance we have, we don't get usually allergies or weakness. Only the time when we lose the strength of that, we start getting indigestions and we have reactions. So whenever this acne is challenged, the reaction happens. I don't know whether you have noticed, most of the time when we overeat, or we eat extra, or we eat snacks which is unwanted, or we drink things too much, then immediately for most of the people they get a feeling of a blocked nose, or they get a feeling of extra mucus and things like that, which is actually that the acne was challenged, the fire was challenged in the body, and that created a kind of weakness in the fire, and that makes the indigestion, and the food which, or the drink which we had, is getting indigested and accumulated in the form of mucus, or other kind of contents, and that's what we feel in our nose or sinus and things like that, or even in the skin. Many times you have seen when people drink something like, for example, beer, or something like that, they immediately get reactions on their skin, because in such condition the fire is challenged, and the fire is not able to digest what is being consumed. So there are three kinds of acne. Just, I mean, this is for only for your understanding. One is digestive acne, which is more in our gastrointestinal tract, which helps for the digestion from the moment we start smelling and chewing things. Second is metabolic acne. It is the strength of our metabolism, how much we are retenting, how much we are processing. And the third one is the cellular level acne, which is, as I told you, in the deeper cells also the fire is there, which is helping to process and absorb things. So these three acnes are very important, and if these three acnes are strong and balanced, we have less chances of having allergic reactions or toxins. So for example, milk, allergy making mucus, then that is more related to the digestive fire. Immediately you get mucus, and in some cases it is in the cellular level, the weakness. In when it is in the cellular level, milk indigestion can make eczema also. So where the weakness of fire, there the symptom will happen. So it can, if it is the weakness is more on the primary level of digestion or primary level of weakness, then you may have immediate response in the form of sneezing or things like that, or stomach pain or bloating or things like that. And when it is in the cellular level, it can happen into eczema or skin problems, or different kinds of chronic problem. So where is the acne challenged, there the response will happen. Then another factor is ama and allergy. Allergy is always happening, or allergic reactions are always happening only due to formation of ama. If there is no ama, or if there is no indigestion, or if there is no lack of processing, or if there is no lack of transformation, then there is no allergic reaction. So when toxins are formed in the body, which is happened by low fire or excess dose of consuming, it creates indigestion. A formation happened which is not being cooked properly, a cold heavy content, which can be in your skin, which can be in your digestion, which can be in your nasal channel, which can be anywhere. And that indigested particle, body tried to remove, body tried to expel. In Ayurveda, that is what we consider as allergic reactions. It can happen from, as I told you, contraindicated food. It can happen from and low digestive fire or bad lifestyle and things like that. In any case, that ama or that indigestion, indigested particle will mix up with the blood, or mix up with the pitta, or mix up with the kapha, and shows different kinds of symptoms, different kinds of reactions. When it is in the blood and when it is with pitta, it shows immediate reactions, because blood and pitta is very fast to react, very fast to express. So a the heat of the blood is more than what it should be. The thermoregulation in the blood is more than what it should be, or less than what it should be. Immediately it shows the expression. So in kapha, it will take a little bit more time to start expressing, but in rakta, in blood and pitta, it shows immediately reactions. Then types of allergies, that is also coming under this topic, which basic things, but I will explain a little bit on that. Drug allergy is one of the allergy which is explained also in the modern science. So drug allergy means the effect of any medicine, or the effect of any herb, or effect of any substance is not matching, or not being suitable to the body. How it is not suitable? What all are the possibilities that it is not suitable? For example, you are using a medicine which is against kapha. We need to make sure that this person is having enough capacity to digest the dosage of medicine being administered. Maybe he have a strong problem, but if he is not having the capacity to digest enough the strength of the medicine, that will leave as indigestion and also create reactions. Also, if in Ayurveda again, if we do low dosage also, if the dosage is not proper, if it is low dosage, that also go into the system, will kind of having a situation where it is not digested and create chronic kind of problem. So indigested particle in overdosage and indigestion which happens in low dosage also happens in drug allergy. There are two kinds of drug allergies. One is direct drug allergy and one is indirect drug allergy. Direct drug allergy, you all know, many people are allergic to penicillin, or many people are allergic to different kinds of tablets or chemical combinations, and that is direct allergy, which is very evident and very expressive. And there are also indirect allergies which can happen. Indirect allergies are always happening by reducing the capacity of the human body, reducing the immunity and the processing strength of the human body. For example, a person who is taking contraceptives. So contraceptives are kind of suppressors. Contraceptives are kind of suppressors, and continuous use of contraceptives, in my experience, I have seen, which reduces the capacity, reduces the immunity of the body. It will make a person slowly into a depleted stage, and when the body is depleted, the immunity goes down, and when the immunity goes down, they start developing or they start expressing different kind of allergic reactions. So uh, that person who is not having any kind of allergy or sneezing or any kind of reactions, but a constant use of suppressive medicines in the form of contraceptives or in the form of any other suppressing substances, which reduces the capacity of the body, reduces the immunity of the body, and create start reaction. For example, many times when people take contraceptive, in clinically what I have seen is that it creates a problem of the blood. The women start losing the quality of the blood, even the quantity of the blood. Their blood gets little bit toxic. Many times they turn into anemic, and when they turn into anemic, they will start sneezing. When the dust hits their stomach or their nostril, immediately they will start sneezing. So many times the problem is not the dust there, the problem is that the blood is not warm enough, or the quantity of blood strength is not enough in the body, so the lung is not able to kind of function properly, and something small irritant which gets into your nostril, you immediately start sneezing. So there are this kind of many things which involved in drug allergy or in allergy the topic. So that also we need to be considering. The next thing is the food allergy, which is important to know, because not only from contraindicated food, even when the food is proper, which is suitable to the body, still some people can have allergies from that. Many people, they have allergies with nuts, they have allergies with milk, they have allergies with different kinds of uh, thing. So food allergy is also something which we need to consider. And why food is allergic to the body? It again falls onto the suitability and the fire. So for some people, peanut is allergic, and for some people, it's not allergic. In Ayurveda, there are different kinds of fire. Elemental fire is also something which is a concept of Ayurveda. We have the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. And in the body, we have different 5 fire, which is responsible for converting outer element into body element. So you are taking a peanut. The peanut is more of earth element in it, and when you have a weakness of converting the fire of earth element into your body system, body tissue, then immediately you will start getting allergic reaction. It can be for peanut, it can be for milk products, it can be for different kinds of flowers, or however, it is depending on that subtle fire which converts that specific molecule or that specific component in that food product, which is weak, creates indigestion and creates allergies. So there are natural antidotes also for food allergies. For example, I tell you one thing: taking yogurt regularly, taking yogurt regularly will create allergies. So in the form of sneezing, or in the form of skin allergies or things like that. The natural antidote for allergy for yogurt is taking a green gram. So many time in Ayurveda, we don't need to run for a tablet or a chemical substance for the allergy made by natural substance, because if there is a reaction which happens by natural element, there is also something which can kind of clean that reaction, which is natural. So we have a big topic on this kind of food toxic values in food or food allergies, which explains what is good for that, what is not good for that. It all depends upon how much hot and how much cold our body is. Most of the seeds, most of the nuts are very hot. And very hot means it is it increases pitta and vata. So if the body is also so much pitta and vata, there can be a possibility that you may get indigestion or you may get allergies. So whether it becomes indigestion or whether it becomes allergic reaction depend upon on which level your fire is weak. If it is in the primary level, then it can turn into indigestion. If it is in the deeper level, it can be into allergic reaction. This changes and varies according to where the weakness of fire is existing. Then another concept of in Ayurveda is we need to process the food before we eat. So a simple example, again coming to the milk. Why I'm telling milk again and again, because out of 10 people, 7 are telling they are intolerant to milk, which is hard for me to believe. I mean, technically hard for me to believe. If milk is milk, and if human beings are human beings, then maybe of ethical reasons or other kinds of reasons, if you don't milk, I understand. But if it's only because of indigestion reasons, it is difficult for me to understand. If it is pure milk and if we have strong acne, then it's not that so many people will have indigestion from the milk. So that's why milk is always an example. And here many people, when they tell me they are allergic to milk or they are intolerant to milk or they get skin problem from the milk or they get sneezing from the milk, many people don't boil the milk also. They just buy the milk, they keep in their refrigerator, they put it into their glass and they drink and they get indigestion. So milk should be always boiled, and milk should be not only boiled for few minutes, it should be boiled for a longer period of time, because boiling is the process which we are doing to make the milk suitable and easy for the body to digest. So this kind of processing is very important. Another thing is rock salt. Rock salt is very important to be roasted before rock, except like unlike any other salt, rock salt is cooling in nature. So if you don't if you don't roast the rock salt, there can be that it can increase or impart the cooling quality of the body and create indigestion. So indigestion means toxicity, because toxins not necessarily always material toxins or physical toxins. Whatever is creating imbalance or whatever is creating indigestion, we can consider as toxin. It's not necessarily always a physical toxin. So if cooling factor is more induced in the body, that can be turning into toxin. Another example is cumin. Cumin should be again always roasted, because it looks very small, but it is a seed and seeds are always heavy to digest. So cumin, even though it looks very small and simple, to make you help in the digestion, to not make troubles in your digestion, whenever you use cumin, cumin should be roasted. So this kind of processing is very important to do. Then skin allergies, we all know there are many different kinds of skin allergies. There are external reasons and internal reasons. So external reason can be a touch exposure, internal reason can be a, a consumed item which is not being digested, in the sense in the body, which it get mixed up with the blood and reflect in the skin. Then seasonal allergies are also another kind of allergies, because as I told you earlier, seasons have different influence in the body. Day has one quality, night has another quality, morning has another quality, afternoon has another quality, summer has one quality, winter has one quality, and with this quality, our body quality also changes. If we believe that we are sitting inside a room and we look outside and we see the trees are changing, the flowers are changing, the leaves are falling, new flowers are coming, new leaves are coming. This only happens to trees and other things and not to us, then we are fools. So same like how they shed leaf, how they get flower, how they get new leaves, same happens in the body. Vata, pitta, kapha changes, hot, cold changing, regeneration, degeneration changing according to the season also. So following this season is very important. Detoxing according to the season is very important, because every season leaves some trace of indigestion or leaves some trace of toxins in the body or imbalances in the body. And in every season, it is important that we kind of cleanse ourselves to remove the toxins or remove the formation of indigestions in the system. Otherwise, it will create different kind of allergies. It can be skin allergy, or it can be even mind allergies, or it can be any other kind of problems, especially the junction of two different seasons, because there is 7 days of the ending of winter and the 7 days in the beginning of spring. This is the junction of seasons, and there is junction in each and every season. So that junction, body is also transforming its qualities. The spring qualities is slowly changing into the winter quality is so slowly changing into spring. So there is a junction where the acne is also a little bit weak, where it accumulates indigestion, or when we eat heavy during that time, or when we put excessive activity during that time, body will be weak to kind of process it. There we can get different kind of imbalances. So following routine, seasonal routine, eating according to different season, acting according to different season, resting according to different season is very important. For example, again, sleeping in the day is not recommended by Ayurveda unless you are very tired. But in the summer season, sleeping is okay to do. If you want to sleep in the daytime, you are allowed to do for a certain period of time. So there are different. It's not like a fixed program that you should do this, you should not do this all the time. It is flexible. It is according to the context. So seasonal changes, one should really learn. Seasonal qualities of the body we should learn. Seasonal qualities of the nature we should learn, which even itself a topic to understand and to follow accordingly. Then explanation of allergies in system wise in Ayurveda. I will brief it a little bit to make you understand. So the main reason, or the basic reason of allergy is weak acne. So when we have a low fire and we consume something, with that low fire, the body is not able to digest what we eat. And when it is not digested, that indigested particle will mix up with the first body tissue called rasa. Rasa is the first body tissue in the body. And when it gets mixed up with the rasa, it can create different kinds of problems. And in that problems, it can be also that it turns out into allergies. So for example, skin allergies. Some people get skin problems. Some people get nasal problems. Some people get rhinitis. Some people get genital problems in the form of allergies. It can be simply that your first tissue is not being formed well, or your first tissue is having toxins. So identifying what is the problem there, identifying which tissue is being indigested there, and how it reflects to your system, how it reflects to your different organs and functions is very important to eradicate this kind of allergic reactions. Then weak acne, again, after indigestion, you eat something and it get indigested. It can also get mixed up with the blood, and the blood, as I told you, the quality of the blood can change. The blood can get more acidic, the blood can get more alkaline, the blood can get more hot, the blood can get more cold. And depending what is more, what is less, more than it should be or less than it should be, it will reflect on the skin, because skin is formed from the blood. How cream is formed from the milk, same the skin is formed from the blood. So blood, the quality, the blood nutrition is supporting, or is the supporting source of the skin. So if the blood is having less quality, immediately skin allergies or skin reactions can happen. It is same in the deeper tissues also. So any tissue can get affected by indigestion or allergies due to weak acne or low fire. This is important to know. Then some tips to stay away from normal allergies, like seasonal and normal allergies. It is always good, it is important that we keep ourselves warm, because for example, why we are coughing, why we are sneezing. I just explain, you just visualize your stomach is the seat of fire, and the fire is supporting your lungs. The fire is supporting your lungs and keeps the lungs warm. And when the fire is strong, the lungs is strong. When the fire is weak, the lungs can get weak, because if the fire is weak, the lungs get cold. So if there is an indigestion and if your fire is weak, immediately your lungs will get cold, and then you started sneezing, or you started coughing, or you started getting different kind of respiratory troubles. So keeping the strength of the fire is or the warmth of the stomach is very, very important. And for that, it is better you always take warm food, warm drinks, and avoid unnecessary eating or snacks and things like that. Overeating things you try to avoid. Rest well and sleep well. This is very important to keep the strength of the fire and the strength of the immunity, because the more you are active, the less our fire, and the more you are resting, the less our fire. It should go into a balance of rest and sleep and activity and things like that. Then eat always cooked food and spiced food, because cooked food, why we are cooking, because we are using the quality of heat to make these heavy molecules into uh, mild molecules or mild complex formations, which our body can easily digest. So raw food, it may have a lot of vitamins which one may lose when we cook it. That is true, there is no doubt about it. But how much vitamins we can digest, how much minerals we can digest, that is the question. So whether you need to cook it or not cook it, depending upon your digestion capacity. And most of the people don't have so much of digestive capacity, and as fire is a very important factor in maintaining our health, better not to challenge the fire. So it's always better to eat cooked food and also mildly spiced food, which helps the digestion. Then herbal teas once or twice a day is very good. So that, depending upon your situation, it can be ginger tea, it can be cumin tea, it can be coriander tea, it can be cinnamon tea, it can be different kinds of tea depending your prakriti constitution and season and things like that. But keeping this herbal tea or having this herbal tea will keep the digestion perfect and your stomach warm. But also don't drink it in excess form. Many people drink liters and liters of herbal tea, which is not needed. One or two herbal tea, that is enough. Then exercise, yoga, and meditation. Meditation is part of yoga, as all of you know. Exercise and yoga is very important to keep up the freshness of our fire, the strength of our fire, the freshness of the blood. So doing exercise, having some physical activity is very important. And fresh mind, moreover, that freshness in the mind to follow a healthy life is also very important to stay away from allergies. Coming to the conclusion, uh, in Ayurveda, the body balance is maintained, or when the body balance is maintained, the allergic reactions are not happening much. So it is important that we keep our functional balance, vata, pitta, and kapha, in a stable way, in a balanced way. Then there is no chance of having reactions or allergic condition. So most of the allergy, I mean, not most of the allergies, all allergies which we are termed will only come under this vata pitta kapha and the fire and the suitabilities. So trying to keep this vata pitta kapha balanced by doing daily routines, by doing seasonal routines, and by doing purifications once in a while, keep the body clean and effective and balanced. So this is the way which we can only remove the possible formation of allergies. This is the way only which we can improve and strengthen our immunity, so that we are not getting affected by or weakened by different kind of allergies. So allergy, when it comes to allergy, this is important that you understand what is suitable for you, what is not suitable for you, what is making your fire weak, what is supporting your fire. This is very, very important to understand, because, and also what is contraindicated to you. So what kind of contraindicated activities you do, what kind of contraindicated food you take, which will decrease the strength of the fire, which will challenge the strength of the fire. Because the more constantly it challenges the fire, the more chances of being allergic to different kind of stimulus. So have a good idea about what is suitable for you, have a understanding of how is your fire, and also consider the factor of contraindicated activities and contraindicated food to keep away yourself from the allergies. So thank you. And if you have any doubts, you can just put it in the chat box with name by name. I will answer it.